Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Ford, and welcome to your English level test. Yes, today you're going to find out exactly what level you are in English. So let's go. Have you ever asked yourself, is my English vocabulary basic, intermediate, advanced? I don't know. Well, now you're going to know because I made a 30-question multi-level test for you. And after all of these questions, you can do more practice by going to the link below this video for a free quiz. The test is broken down into 3 parts. There's A1 and A2, which is basic, B1 and B2, which is intermediate, and C1 and C2, which is advanced. One last tip I would like to give you is to grab a pen and paper so that you can take notes of any mistakes that you make during the test. And if you're still not sure, then you can leave me a comment below this video. I would be more than happy to answer. So, are you ready? Let's go. Question number 1. I watch while I'm sitting on the sofa. A. Television. B. Pictures. C. Phone. D. Camera. And if you thought that the answer was television, that is correct. So at the basic level, you want to remember 2 important verbs, and that's watch and look at. So we watch television, we watch movies, but we look at our phone. So they're a little different. Number 2, what is this? A. Sofa. B. Desk. C. Couch. D. Armchair. And if you thought that it was letter D, armchair, that is correct. So this is part of basic vocabulary that people learn when they're studying English. And this has to do with different kinds of furniture. Sofa, which is usually in the living room. It's something that's more for guests. Couch in the family room so that anybody can sleep on it or sit on it. And desk. Number 3, cars wait until the traffic turns green. A. Signs. B. Lights. C. Crossing. D. Lanes. And if you thought that the answer was traffic lights, that is correct. So this is more basic vocabulary that we normally learn at the basic level. Traffic lights, traffic signs, traffic lanes, and crossing. Number 4, this is A, the living room. B, the kitchen. C, the dining room. D, the family room. And if you thought the answer was the dining room, that is correct. So these are parts of the house that everybody should remember from their basic studies. So we have the kitchen, the living room, and the family room. Number 5, where is the cinema? A, in front of the music shop. B, across from the music shop. C, over the music shop. D, between the music shop. And if you thought that the answer was in front of the music shop, that is correct. So we want to review our prepositions of location. So try to remember with me. We have across from, over, the cinema is over the music shop, and then between, the cinema is between the music shop and the library. Number 6, when I saw him, he was a bicycle. A, running. B, driving. C, playing. D, riding. If you thought that the answer was letter D, that is correct, riding. So we can ride many things. You can ride a bike, you can ride a train, you can ride a bus, you can ride a horse. But driving's a little different. For example, I'm riding in a taxi. Yeah, and I'm driving. Where to? Question number 7. He drinks quickly. A, bear. B, beer. C, bear. D, bar. And if you thought the answer was beer, that is correct. So this has a lot to do with spelling and pronunciation. And you want to find words that have similar sounds. So you could be served beer, and that sounds like here, near, fear. And I'm sure that you probably would rather be served beer than bear. Bear, that's the pronunciation there. Think of hair, share, fair, bear. Which would you prefer? Have a beer or have a bear? Number 8, it's that Peter can't come to the party. I really wanted to see him. A, sign. B, wish. C, type. D, pity. And if you thought that the answer was D, pity, that is correct, or pity. And that means that you really studied British English, because in American English, the equivalent for pity is shame. It's a shame. So if you knew it's a pity, that's because you studied more British English. If you knew both, high 5, high 10, because you understand both kinds of English. Number 9, they live 2 kilometers from the train station. A, outside. B, away. C, around. D, along. If you thought that the answer was away, that is correct. So if you got that one right, it shows that you really studied your prepositions of location. Of course, it would be possible to use outside, but we need to say it in a different way. So we could say that I live 2 kilometers outside the city. Number 10, Mandeep often borrows books from the A, bookshop. B, butcher. C, market. D, library. Once again, if you thought that it was letter D, that is correct. So it's borrow books from the library. So try to remember that, because some people, they will mix these 2 words up. So you borrow books from the library, you buy books from the bookshop. Many people mix those up. So how did you do? We finished the basic part of the test. And if you got 7 or less, then you are at the basic level. If you got 8 or more, that means that you can continue on to the intermediate part of the test. So are you ready? Let's go. By the way, everybody, did you know that I give private lessons? I would be more than happy to give you your first free trial lesson, and you can do that by contacting me at the link below. Question number 11. One day I want to climb Mount Everest. That's a goal I want to A. Achieve, B. Acquire, C. Respect, D. Invent. And if you thought that the answer was achieve, that is correct. So this is all about collocations. Now that you're in the intermediate level, you know that collocations are two or more words that we often find together. Achieve a goal, realize a goal, but that's very formal. We don't use that when we're speaking. Or acquire skills or wealth. Number 12. She is looking for a new job because she wants to more money. A. Gain, B. Win, C. Achieve, D. Earn. And if you thought that the answer was earn, that is correct. Good job for intermediate level speakers. So we want to talk about false cognates. In some languages, earn, gain, and win are the same verb, but in English they're not, and we use them differently. For example, earn money by working, earn a reputation, gain weight, gain confidence, win the lottery, or win a game. Number 13, the girl's eyes were wide open and she looked so... Something must have frightened her. A. Terrific, B. Terrified, C. Terrifying, D. Terrify. And if you thought that the answer was terrified, that is correct. That's good. That means that you studied a lot of adjectives at the intermediate level that describe emotions. And I have a few things to say about this. The first is you want to try to find other words that are similar in meaning. Terrified is similar in meaning to frightened and scared. And I really suggest that you try to use a thesaurus every now and then so that you can expand your vocabulary. A thesaurus, of course, is a dictionary of synonyms of similar words, and it will really help. The last thing I want to say is be careful, because a lot of people confuse this, is the difference between terrified and terrific. They sound similar, but mean totally different things. The movie was terrifying. I was terrified. Number 14. Isn't he crazy? He doesn't seem to have any common... A. Sensible, B. Sensitivity, C. Sensitive, D. Sense. If you thought the answer was sense, that is correct. So that's good. That means that you're studying vocabulary on your own. Try to remember the difference between sensible and sensitive, because a lot of people, they will confuse those two at the intermediate level. Sensible is practical, rational, level-headed. Sensitive is sympathetic, thoughtful, empathetic. Question 15. We were on vacation in Italy. It was such a nice A. Trip, B. Travel, C. Journey, D. Excursion. If you thought that the answer was trip, well done. A lot of people mix these two up. Trip is a noun. We travel to other places. Travel is a verb. So to understand travel better, you travel from point A to point B by plane, train, or automobile, usually. A journey, you saw that in one of the options. Journey is different. It's much more, shall we say, formal.
I say there, dear boy, I trust that you had a wonderful journey.
So journey is something that we use more in movies and literature. Maybe you recognize these movies and they both have the word journey in them. That's the only place that you're going to see the word journey. Number 16, my boss can be really mean. We really don't A, get around, B, get over, C, get on, D, get in. If you thought the answer was get on, that is correct. And once again, we have the difference between British and American English for phrasal verbs in this case. So get on with in British English means be friendly with. Get along with in American English means the same thing, be friendly with. Number 17, because of Rachel's snowboarding, she had to stay in bed for a whole month. A, sickness. B, problem. C, ability. D, injury. And if you thought that the answer was injury, that is correct. So an injury, physical harm or damage to someone's body caused by an accident or an attack. And compare that to sickness, an illness or disease. Number 18, when hiking in the forest, Tina, a deer sleeping on the grass. Letter A, turned up. B, came across. C, dropped off. D, brought up. The answer is came across. So another phrasal verb here. And this is a really important one. To come across something means to find something by chance. I came across a wallet on my way home from work, for example. Number 19, Ron told an inappropriate joke during dinner that made everyone feel A, grateful, B, spiritual, C, awkward, D, clumsy. And the answer was awkward. In case you don't know, awkward in this case means to feel uncomfortable. Clumsy means little physical coordination, someone who's very accident prone. Number 20, Mike's body was covered in from running in the hot sun. A, spice. B, sweat. C, powder. D, mist. And if you knew that the answer was sweat, good job. So this is vocabulary in context. And try not to confuse these two here because they can be a little tricky in terms of spelling and pronunciation. So we have sweat and we also have sweet. Sweat and sweet, yum. So we finished the intermediate part of the test. How did you do? If you got 7 or less, that means that you are at the intermediate level. And if you got 8 or more, congratulations, because now you can move on to the advanced part of the test. Are you ready? Let's go. Question 21. George loves talking about his accomplishments. Yesterday, that he could speak 4 languages fluently. A, whined. B, whispered. C, boasted. D, denied. And the answer is letter C, boasted. So if you knew that one, then you know your vocabulary. So to boast is to talk about one's accomplishments excessively. Another verb to use is to brag. Number 22, it's best not to talk to my father in the early morning. He's usually until he's had his coffee. A, lousy. B, charismatic. C, stubborn. D, grumpy. And if you thought that the answer was D, grumpy, that is correct. So just to remember, grumpy means to be in a bad mood, irritable. Lousy means feeling unwell or sick. Stubborn means obstinate or pig-headed. Charismatic means charming or magnetic. Number 23, Carol and Jim after the big fight they had last night. Today they are happy together again. A, made up. B, figured out. C, turned up. D, showed off. If you knew that the phrasal verb was made up, that's great. I'm glad that you know that at this level. So we have to make up or to make up with someone. What does it mean? To reconcile your differences, to become friends or lovers again after having a previous argument. It's a really important phrasal verb. We use it all the time. For example, they had a fight, but after they made up. Other phrasal verb options were to figure out, another good one, to figure out, or to figure something out, to solve a problem, to find an answer to a problem, to turn up, to arrive or appear somewhere, usually unexpectedly, and to show off, to display proudly. This is my cat. Would you like to... What am I doing? A, pat. B, touch. C, smell. D, pet. If you thought that the answer was pet, that is correct. What are the other verbs here? We have pat, touch, smell, and the answer, pet. This is to pet your pet. Number 25, that mobile phone company is for having the worst customer service. A, trustworthy. B, notorious. C, forbidden. D, acclaimed. And if you knew that the answer was notorious, that's very good. What is notorious in case you didn't know? Notorious is usually having a bad reputation. The others were good words too, so they're worth noting. So trustworthy is somebody who is dependable, reliable. Forbidden means prohibited. Acclaimed means publicly praised. Number 26. Jenny is a really heavy smoker. After a 10-hour flight, she was really a cigarette. A, craving. B, scrambling. C, yearning. D, preserving. If you thought that the answer was craving, high five, that is correct. So in case you didn't know what craving is when you intensely desire something, and it's usually related to appetite. Yearning is also to intensely desire something. It's more when you yearn for love. It's deeper, it's closer to your heart, and it's also more poetic. Number 27, the pizzeria tried to by using cheaper cheese in their pizzas. However, customers noticed and sales dropped as a result. A, learn the ropes. B, cut corners. C, call the shots. D, talk shop. And the answer was to cut corners. So now we start to expand our range of vocabulary at the more advanced levels. And in this case, this is used a lot in business English. And to cut corners means that you cut expenditures, you cut costs, you spend less. These were other good collocations and expressions in business English. So learn the ropes means to learn how to do a new job. Call the shots, to be in charge. Talk shop, talk about work. So imagine you're in a bar and your coworker, they start talking about work and you can say, no shop talk. Number 28, the Olympic Committee released a statement saying it does not the use of drugs to enhance athletic performance. A, expunge. B, refute. C, insulate. D, condone. If you thought the answer was condone, really good. So these are all legal terms. This is expanding your vocabulary range here. And condone means to approve of something. If you don't condone it, you don't approve of it. To expunge means to remove records, especially criminal records. I think there would probably be a lot of native speakers who would not know that legal term. To refute, to prove someone or something wrong. To insulate, to provide legal protection. Now we're all lawyers. Number 29, we're almost there, folks. Mike's interest in skateboarding began as he got older and the activity became harder on his body. A, wane. B, tweak. C, reduce. D, plunge. And if you knew that the answer was wane, excellent. This is the kind of vocabulary that only native speakers would know. I don't see my very advanced students using such vocabulary unless they're English teachers. So to wane means to decrease, to diminish gradually. For example, his interest is waning, or he has a waning interest in skateboarding. To tweak means to make small adjustments. To plunge means to fall dramatically. Number 30. For many companies, one of the best ways to get new clients is when an existing client gives a recommendation, B, referral, C, reference, D, suggestion. And the answer is referral. So once again, this has to do with vocabulary in context, what we call vocabulary range. So a client referral is a recommendation of a company's products or services by an existing client to a prospective customer. A recommendation, informal suggestions from friends, family, people you meet outside of business settings. Okay, everybody, how did you do? We finished the advanced part of the test. If you got 7 or less, then you indeed are advanced. And if you got 8 or more, then you are near fluent. And you can go on to expand your horizons even more. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you want more practice with these kinds of questions, I do have a free quiz on my website. And if you have any questions for me, you can ask me in the comment section of this video. I'll also leave my contact link for private lessons. And I hope to see you in our next English lesson. Bye, everybody.